Bandipur Tiger Reserve in Karnataka. Over 800 square kilometers of unspoiled forest, grasslands and water bodies, long famous for its rich diversity of wildlife. Flanked by Nagarahole to the northeast, Bandipur is separated from Tamil Nadu's Mudumalai Wildlife Sanctuary by the Moyar River, which runs through a deep gorge to the south. The Nilgiri Hills form a picturesque backdrop to much of Bandipur's rocky hills and forested valleys. These are mainly covered with dry deciduous forests of natural teak. This anti-poaching patrol, setting out from camp at Kulanbetta, traverses grass-covered hills which are also a feature of Bandipur. Eastwards, the vegetation gives way to short trees and scrub. The park is drained by a number of small forest streams and rivers like the Moyar, the Nugu and the Kabini. In mid-January, the forest starts to shed its drab winter cloak as flame of the forest trees set the landscape ablaze with their brilliant flowers. The blossoms attract a host of birds and arboreal mammals. A grey-headed myna hawks insects attracted to the blossoms. Langur monkeys relish the flowers and spend hours feeding on them. A Brahmini myna and a plum-headed parakeet which competes with the flowers for brightness. Forest fires pose a serious threat during the long and hot summer. The Forest Department commences work in creating fire lines and fire breaks throughout the park. During the season, tribals now settled around the periphery of Bandipur are recruited as fire watchers and to assist in controlled burning. Meanwhile, at the other end of the park, water from the Kabini reservoir is being released so that farmers downstream may irrigate their land. Small pools of water are often formed, and these attract large flocks of waterbirds. Painted storks, white ibis, spoonbills all gather to make the most of this opportunity, each using its unique style of fishing. As the temperature soars, waterholes inside the forest are shrinking fast. A four-horned antelope or chausinga comes down to quench its thirst. A wild boar is next, followed by a samba doe and her fawn. A pair of red-vented bulbuls join in. To provide water in the forest during this harsh period, the Forest Department regularly deepens existing water holes and, where necessary, may create new ones. Sometimes, during a particularly bad summer, water may be pumped into the water holes to provide relief to the wildlife. The Interpretation Center at Bandipur provides visitors with a quick and comprehensive introduction to the park. Visitors are guided through the park in Forest Department buses, tickets for which are available at the reception counter. Elephant rides can also be had here. While the elephant ride is really a joyride, it offers the visitor a different perspective and is certainly a wonderful way to watch birds. It's late evening. A small family group of elephants arrives at a waterhole. Cheetal and langur gather along the water's edge for a quick drink before they settle down for the night. One by one, they make a beeline for the water, drinking urgently but copiously. While drinking, the animals are exposed and vulnerable to predators. They must be constantly alert. As the tourist bus arrives, the elephants leave. It's imperative that visitors remain silent in the park and follow the instructions of the park staff closely. The main Mysore-Ooty highway and the road to Calicut cut right through Bandipur. Reckless driving on these relatively short stretches of road often results in wild animals that should have right of way being hit and killed. A speeding car probably killed this young cheetal doe in the early hours of the morning. This truck ran over an elephant calf. The mother, in desperation, tried to retrieve her dead baby from under the truck. The park management now needs the help of all government agencies to prevent such fatalities. The Forest Department puts out salt for wildlife in some parts of the park. Known as salt licks, these are frequented by herbivores and various birds. The salt serves as a welcome supplement to their diet. Elephants at salt licks provide a great opportunity for tourists to view them from a safe distance. As the dry season progresses, the deciduous trees shed their foliage and the forest takes on a stark look. Cheetal gather around the remaining waterholes to feed on the green grass carpeting the verge. Ever watchful, they give a call of alarm. A little grebe with its chicks feeds unconcerned. A peacock and a langur join the cheetal, calling in alarm. Beautifully camouflaged, a tiger is watching and waiting. But once detected, the tiger has little chance of making a kill. The forest is full of drama, and it's for the discerning visitor to notice and appreciate its many secrets. Here, a red wattle lapwing is incubating its eggs. The paths of a black-naped hare and a ruddy mongoose cross. The bird leaves its nest to avoid attracting attention. But the lapwing must not let its eggs get cold and quickly returns. Both male and female lapwings look alike and share in parental duties. When the deer get too close, the lapwing spreads its wings in order to appear big and intimidating. Grazing cheetal pose no threat to the bird, but could trample the unhatched eggs. Along the backwaters of the Kabini Reservoir, on the land exposed by the receding waters, short, succulent grass starts to push through the cracked earth. This highly nutritious grass is the mainstay of the large congregations of elephants that gather here in summer. The Bandipur side of the backwaters of the Kabini is closed to tourism. Visitors in boats from the Nagarhole-Karapur side arrive to view elephants and other wildlife. Cheetal and gaur feed placidly along the bank. A basking mugger crocodile slips into the water. A mature bull gaur, like this one, can weigh up to 1 ton. Here, elephants drink and bathe at least twice a day. Crocodiles and otters are regularly seen, but to encounter a family group of otters over their large fish meal is quite unusual. Protection is a key element in the management of Bandipur, and guard camps are located at strategic points. For years, the Naihala guard camp sat atop a bamboo clump alongside the Kabini River. The guards leave on patrol. With such a congregation of elephants around, it's not hard to see why it was essential to have this camp. Elephants spend hours feeding on the short, nutritious grass, using their feet and trunk to dexterously sift and clean each mouthful. While the mother feeds, this male calf keeps himself otherwise occupied. Besides grass, bamboo is an all-time favorite food of the elephants. Young male elephants work out their strength and hierarchy through sparring matches where they push and shove each other. Such sparring matches will stand these young tuskers in good stead later in life. With mature bull elephants in must, such encounters can be of a more serious nature. Conflict is inevitable when park boundaries abut villages. To reduce human-elephant conflict, the Forest Department regularly excavates deep elephant-proof trenches around settlements in the Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve. Illegal firewood collection and cattle grazing within protected areas is still a problem in some parts of the park. Namma Sangha in Bandipur is a newly registered society that has taken the initiative to try and reduce people's dependency on the forest for firewood. This unique effort provides each family with a subsidized cooking gas connection and a free gas stove. To date, over 3,000 gas connections are in use around the Bandipur Tiger Reserve. The Forest Department also takes cattle vaccination drives to prevent the spread of infectious diseases such as anthrax and rinderpest. Under the Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve program, health camps such as this one are held to inoculate local residents and park staff against hepatitis B. The Forest Department encourages villagers to opt for solar-powered electric fences and, as incentive, offers them at a 60% subsidy. These fences have proven to be very effective in preventing elephants and other wildlife such as wild boar and cheetal from entering the fields.
ಉಪಯೋಗ ಏನಿಲ್ಲ ಆನ ಹಂದಿ ದನ ಯಾವುವು ಬರಲ್ಲ ಏನು ಕಟ್ತಾರ 60% ಕಟ್ತಾರ ನಾವು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕಟ್ಟೋದು ಅದು ನಾವು ಕಟ್ಟಾಗೇ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಯಾರೋ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ರು ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಕಾಸು ಖರ್ಚು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಜವಾಬ್ದಾರಿ ಆಯ್ತಾ ಆಗ ನಮ್ಮ ಮಟ್ಟಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾವತ್ತು
It's April now. As the mercury soars, vultures circle high overhead, drawing the eye to a build-up of clouds. The peacock's shimmering display seems to emphasize the heat. Its calls beckon the rains. Peacocks display a breed at the start of the rainy season. This extravagant display is very much a hallmark of the Indian jungle. The first April showers are welcomed by a group of elephants feeding on the riverbanks. Typically, it's a brief shower, but it moistens the earth sufficiently for the first alates to emerge. Bonnet macaques are quick to move in and greedily fill their cheek pouches with this rich source of protein. They're soon joined by white ibis and egrets. Alates are winged termites which emerge and fly away to start their cycle of life afresh with a new termite mound. Of the thousands that emerge, many fall prey to birds and other wildlife. The emerging alates have attracted a flame-backed woodpecker. Even a normally shy colotus lizard makes a resolute appearance. The competition hots up with red-whiskered bulbul, red-wattle lapwing, common and Brahmini miners all entering the fray. A peacock is last to arrive, but of course there's plenty for everyone. Following the first showers, farming activities commence in the villages around the park. Living on the edge, as it were, it's hardly surprising that wildlife cannot resist the crops growing here. The farmers here are mostly dependent on the monsoon and try to grow 2 crops a year. These include ragi, sugarcane, and some cash crops like cotton. The arrival of the monsoon in June is a dramatic affair, with huge banks of clouds pressing against the distant Nilgiri hills. Cheetals stand around, unmindful of the downpour. Soon the grasses will turn green again and there'll be plenty of grazing for all herbivores. Over the next 4 months, it'll rain almost every day, sometimes for days on end. If the rains are plentiful, the parched waterholes of summer will quickly fill up. The arrival of the monsoon is a signal for the elephants congregated along the Kabini to disperse once again. As elsewhere in India, the monsoon is the rejuvenator of life here. All at once, there's a profusion of growth, from fungi to butterflies and insects of all kinds, and the land surges with new life. With new growth, there's an abundance of fodder. The animals are spoilt for choice. This is when female gaur drop their young. The brown calves are easy to spot amongst a herd. It's also the time of the cheetal rut, and stags lock their antlers in their fight for mates. High up in the canopy, an Indian giant squirrel is feasting on berries. One of the most enigmatic species found in the forests of Bandipur is the Indian wild dog, or dhole. The flash of red as a pack moves through the new green of the forest is a sight hard to forget. These, and so many such small and wonderful sights, make up the vast diversity of the Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve in Karnataka, of which Bandipur remains an enchanted part.